Hello, this is Firebirdlover, and this is my submission to Fastest Furs for a Hades 100% Olympian free run. This is a custom run in that it does not have a category on speedrun.com. What makes it different from a standard Hades run is that by the time I have completed the run, I can have no Olympian boons attached to me in any way. Olympian boons are the boons that are provided by Zeus, Poseidon, Athena, Aphrodite, Ares, Artemis, Dionysus, Hermes, and by Demeter. I am allowed to have boons that come from Chaos, and I am allowed to have hammer boons that come from Daedalus. I'm allowed to have the one keepsake that you normally have. In this case, it will not belong to an Olympian god, but I don't believe that changes anything. And I'm allowed to use a companion in battle. And finally, I am allowed to have any temporary items that may have held over in the final battle. If I'm lucky, when I complete the run, I will have the Olympian, 100% Olympian free title under the victory, but that's not 100% assured because of the way this game does titles. There are other titles that have equal that I may qualify for and are equally likely at that point. It's completely randomized. Other than that, I'll explain how we're going to do the run as we do it. So, getting started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Right from the start here, we're not using a mod, any mods, so we have a chance of Hades, Hades giving us a bit of a lecture, just costing us time. That's about 10 to 15 seconds, I guess close to 20 seconds, that I simply can't account for one way or another. We're going to take Shadow Slash mainly because it is the best increase in damage. As you saw, I just did a 700 damage hit there. I am using the slowest weapon in the game. The reason I'm using the slowest weapon in the game is that's how hard this run is. I need the damage from this weapon. Because at the end of the game when I have no boons other than a few chaos boons, I will have very little damage except for what comes directly from the weapon. So that has to be as high as possible to get through the 34,000 health that Hades has. And while it's the slowest weapon in the game, I am doing as much as possible to still speed it up. It will not be as fast as a standard Hades run. There's nothing I can do about that, and there are in fact times when I have to take... Okay, I cannot use my special, but my special will get more powerful, so that's fine. There are times I will have to take slower actions early on just to assure that I won't die in the Hades fight, or that I can speed up in Elysium, where if I don't go through certain pains to really boost my damage in various ways for Elysium and in the Styx, I will be very slow in that area. Still taking all the free rooms. I will be taking every single shop I see, whether I normally need a shop or not. The only thing I will be buying from stores is hearts and health. I may very occasionally buy an Olympian boon when I have few enough that there is no real cost to taking one. And when we say cost of taking one, I can get up to 3 Olympian boons per area because I can sell them off. I wasn't supposed to do that. Forgot I'm taking damage from specials. Because I can sell them off, but once I have 3, I can't afford to have any more. So I'm going to be really careful watching for how many boons I get. If something would force me to take a 4th Olympian boon, I will try to cycle that door away so that I'm not forced to take it. Other than that, besides the fact that this weapon deals a massive amount of damage, the other major advantage of this weapon is it has a defensive trick. And I can't show off that defensive trick right now because, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to use specials, or I can use specials, but they hurt a lot. But when I get to, as soon as this Chaos Boon changes effect, like it just did, that zone, while I'm in that zone, I take 40%, or sorry, my damage is reduced by 40%, or damage I take is reduced by 40%, sorry. So that is also extremely helpful in letting me speed up this weapon. Basically, there are a lot of times in the game when I will simply trade hits because I'm taking damage at a low enough rate that I can afford to trade hits, especially when my damage is just so high. And as you see, I've got this nice big arc of damage I deal with this sword. Yeah, there's a lot of area damage with this. Also, you may note that, not particularly in this area, but it'll happen more as we get to Elysium. I'm going to try to let traps do the work for me whenever possible. As I said, my damage is going to be, even though this is the highest damage weapon in the game, I don't have boons. So my damage is going to be on the lower side. And one of the ways to supplement that damage is traps. Another major way I'm going to supplement that damage, besides consumable items like I just did there. And I should have gone to the other door. I forgot this is the final room. Oh, well, actually, I'll take the healing. Another way I'm going to supplement damage is to, as I start to need it, put cast stones into enemies and basically try to hit enemies from behind all the time. Because my damage from behind is, as we already saw, exceptional. Cast stones will also give me a slight damage boost, and we'll take whatever we can get. Ow. One of the other things this defensive thing does, if I can get it to positioned right, is it slows down any projectiles being fired at that go through it. So that is another thing that I'd like to do, is make sure that all projectiles are going through it. And as you can see, right there, I traded blows with Meg, and she did about 100 damage to me, which is fine. I had it, and so it's lost about half my health. I get it all back right here. Enjoy the series. And I should have done this in the opposite order, but it didn't cost me anything. There it is. I just sold off all my Olympian boons. So with the exception of the consumable items that are affecting my affecting me right now, the only thing I have is the hammer and the chaos boon to boost me. Otherwise, I am effectively exactly the same power as I was when I entered the start of the game. And since every area gets tougher, that's a pretty big challenge. That has... Oh, that does have a backstab? Oh, no. That was a skull that emerged from it. Okay, I was like, that has no back, so I can't possibly get a backstab there. There you go. That was a backstab. And if you see that projectile was moving extremely slowly inside of inside of that zone, that defensive zone. I have no choice here. I have to take an Olympian boon. And again, that's fine. I'm allowed to take up to 3. And I really want to take at least 1, maybe 2. Don't want to risk... In general, the 3rd one makes me nervous just because, like I said, if I get that 4th one, I have no way to sell it off. Also, as far as I can tell, there are some boons I can't sell off. I've learned this the hard way already in one of my practice runs. And I don't entirely know what they are, except that I know that basic boons can always be sold off. So I will always stick one of these on one of the 4 or 5 basic spots whenever possible, just to ensure that I can sell off the boons. And I just ignore everything in the store. They're not selling a health boost or a heal, so I don't care. Okay, this is one of the fights that I should do very well because of this thing. As long as I'm not stupid and I stay sort of centered a little bit, those bullets are slowed down enough that I can handle them. Like I said, as long as I'm not stupid. And even when I don't have my protective aura, my special very quickly kills off the
my senses sharpen.
Kills off the bullets before they get to me. So that's a mini boss that's often very difficult because of all those bullets. So this is another advantage of this defensive zone. It slows enemies. Normally, that Crusher would have already been up in the air before I finished hitting him. But because he was in the slowing field, it took him longer to get up in the air. It just slows down all of his actions. Alright, I'm trading blows a little bit too much here, so let's see if I can... There we go.
Delicious.
It's kind of annoying to get those palms because I literally can't... Alright, and this is going to be my 3rd god. I literally can't keep them. I'm going to sell off the boon, they're going to go away, so... And they just don't give even the same boost as a boon does, so... Another thing that I haven't had a chance to do much of, though you may have noticed a little bit, is when enemies start appearing on the screen, if at all possible, I try to start swinging before they've appeared. The reason is the 3rd swing in this sequence does so much more damage than the first 2. So like that. If I can start my sequence before he appears on the screen, then when he actually appears, he's taking the big hit. And yeah, definitely trying to make sure I always get as many enemies in my swing as possible. One of the things I probably should be remembering is the Chaos Boon I got improves my special, not my attack. So I want to use the special a little more than I have been. I have Lamia, and I don't know what this is going to be, but we always take it. The only things I've been skipping there... maybe I'll get healing here. This is the final room. The only things I've been skipping there are ones that give meta items. I have no use for them. Oh well, probably should have taken the heart door. Alright, this is where I get to show off one of the coolest features of this sword. Alright, so we've been talking about this defensive thing I can make. Well, one of the things it does is it makes it so that traps don't hurt you, and lava counts as a trap. See, I'm standing on lava and I'm not getting hurt. And I gotta say, I couldn't be happier about that. Well, now I'm getting hurt because I didn't put my defensive field up. Alright, I came in here a little bit weak, and I'm not being too smart with my damage. You know, I'm taking a little more than I really should. But, like that, you see how easy it was for me to dodge those beams? That's entirely because they were slowed down once they reached my defensive aura. Oh, that's nice. I forgot about the that. And one of the consumable items that I picked up gives every enemy a 15% chance of giving a health drop, and that includes the Learny heads. And I still lost to Death Defiance because I wasn't being quite careful enough. I'm actually a little bit lower on health than I usually am at this point. But as I said, the last part here is just very quick because I can stand on the lava right in Learny's face, trade a little damage with her, and
Back to wherever your neck went.
yep, she did, let's see, I had 110, so she did a little under 30 damage to me, and I did a couple thousand to her. Alright, gonna switch up to Bone Hourglass now. This allows me to pull off the other major trick of the run. Oh, there's a Kiss of Sticks, so I'm completely fine. Every item that I buy in Elysium is going to last for 8 additional rooms. This means it'll last all the way through Elysium and will last a little bit into Styx. And the items I buy when I beat the bosses of Elysium might even last all the way to Hades. Alright. We are now at the point when we need as much damage as possible, so I am putting cast stones into enemies pretty much all the time. I'll be using every trick in the book trying to get these backstabs when all possible. There was a very big damage backstab. And since the enemies can deal a lot of damage here, I'm going to definitely try to keep myself in this circle as much as possible. Another advantage of this circle is it'll slow down those eyeballs, which will make them less likely to turn into... Oh, I have to get that hammer. Man, it just blended into the... We'll take the Supernova. I have boosted my special, and I have boosted my attack, so this is not a bad place to be. Fighting these guys is going to be just like fighting the witches. It's honestly just best to spam this special, stay in my ring as much as possible, whenever they let me at least. And that's that. Again, we're keeping an eye out for shops as much as... Well, that's a shop, but not in the way I meant. We're keeping an eye out for the Well of Charon's as much as possible. Always buying any hearts we see. Always grabbing any hearts we see. And trying to let the traps do the work for us whenever possible. Could get lucky? Nah. It's fine. There we go. Yep, let the trap do the work for us. Don't let the trap hit us ourselves. And there was another nice 700 damage hit. And note, like I was saying before, that was a 700 damage hit. That was exactly the same damage I dealt at the start of the game. Whoa. When I got a backstab, that is, to be clear. So, I literally have gotten no damage improvement since the very start of this game. You know, my special does more damage now because of a hammer I picked up. Okay, you can let the trap do the work again. But my base attack has not changed. And unless I happen to see a Chaos Boon, or I keep some sort of consumable item until Hades. It's not going to change. Here we're just going to very quickly spam, which means at least one of the eyeballs is going to pop. Now we chase the eyeballs down to try to stop as many of them from popping as possible. Ow. And unfortunately, we got a shield. That was basically the worst thing we could get. But there's unfortunately no fast way to beat that eyeball because it doesn't have a back. No backstabs against eyeballs. These kind of eyeballs, yes, but not eyeballs. The butterfly ball. No back against the butterfly ball. So, all right, now we're beginning to get a good deal of hearts, and this is good. The more hearts, and again, see how much that defensive aura really protects me from those, you know. They're much easier to dodge when they're moving at half speed.
Stay dead.
And that was a nice fast room, and we appreciate it. Get something here, and we will just buy everything. That's going to be a rule of thumb, is just buy everything. We've got tons of money. Since we're not buying normal god boons, like, the main thing that costs you money when you play this game is normally you're buying god boons. Also, you're not normally getting as many money rooms. You may notice I'm getting more heart and money rooms than you might normally see. It has to do with a mirror option I didn't choose that is always chosen, and I mean always chosen, for any other normal speedrun, which is an option that gives you more rooms that offer boons, and I don't want boons. So yeah, so I took the never used option of give me fewer boons but make them rarer. Sure. That is pretty much exactly what I need. I need what few boons I have, you know, to be very effective. Now, there's something left here. And not to get too many, or I can't sell them off at the in the final area. And again, I'm skipping Hermes there and getting something, you know. No one would ever skip Hermes in a speed run like that. Just be absolutely clear. You know. Ask Blaze, he speeds runs Hades. No one would ever skip a Hermes boon like that in a speed run. But I can't take the risk, because if I have more than 3 Olympian boons, and I probably won't, but you know, you never know what's going to come in the remaining halls. If I have more than 3, then I can only sell 3 of them off at the shop, and after that, it's luck. I would have to find a place to sell off boons in the Styx tunnels, and I cannot assure that. Come on, Trap. Oh, well, Trap doesn't need to help me if I do all the work myself. Ow. This is, by the way, pretty much as bad of a room as I can get. Archers are a disaster, and butterfly balls are and butterfly balls just put a lot of damage out in the room that's hard to avoid. Thankfully, my special is once again... Oh, and traps. So just put a cast into one, let my special do some work, let the trap do some work if it hits. And there we go. The room is clear. Don't care what I'm improving. It's a shop. I believe it's even the last shop, though I haven't been counting. Great, there's some health. And we're in to fight the bosses. Alright, fighting the bosses. Just again, because of how this weapon works, I can't really afford to be trading blows with both of them at the same time. So what I'm going to do is, well, lure Asterius off into the edge over here. Come on, Asterius. I need you to come play with me. Asterius is really convenient to fight if he's alone because he basically has a blind spot that he can't defend and that he can't hit me from. What I have to worry about is not getting hit by Theseus. There we go. We already got Asterius down halfway. And again, as much as possible, I'm going to try to fight him in my defensive field, because that way if he does get a hit in, and he'll get some in, there's almost nothing I can do about that, I'll take less damage. You notice I'm trying to get behind him. Those backstabs really deal an exceptional amount of damage. There we go. He's gone. Just got to get Theseus down, and he's suddenly going to be a lot easier. Some of this will be just trading. And again, when I'm trading blows, I really should pop that out more than I have been. But what I'm mainly trying to do is get him down to this. Alright, so I have to wait until he gives up his vulnerability, summon Meg, and then that's it. Meg does 2,500, which is, he only has 3,500 when he enters that zone mode, and then I just wail on him a little bit. I can accept a little bit of damage from the god raining heaven upon me. But, alright, we're going to buy, I bought something I shouldn't have bought, whatever. We're going to buy it before getting rid of Charon's Hourglass. That makes the +8 rooms last for those items we just bought. That's particularly good because one of them was a healing item. And now we have switched over to the Shattered Shackles. The Shattered Shackles are pretty much what make this run possible. The way the Shattered Shackles work, and again, this is a keepsake that you will never see in a speedrun, but the way they work is... Ooh, okay, so we're going to have to change some of those doors. We'll get to how that works in later. But the way the Shattered Shackles work is if I don't have a boon attached to my attack, then it's... Or for my attack, for my special, and my cast. If I do not have a boon attached to them, they're plus 100% damage. So double damage. Which, this is additive system rather than multiplicative, so it's not technically double damage, but you see it's... When there's nothing else going on there, it's double damage. What this means is... My 3 attack sequences right now, if I have put a cast stone into an enemy, are a little over 1,000 damage. Yikes! Gotta move. Alright. And again, like I said, we got a healing item. So, now unfortunately one of the things I had to do here was I had to go into a room that is not a boss room. And these are slow rooms again. But, again, it was kind of a forced situation. I had to take that coins thing, because anything else would have been a god boon. So you might ask, what am I going to do about those other god boons? Well, I have an option that allows me to change what a door is offering. This is something else, again, you will never see anyone take on a normal Hades speedrun, because... Normally on a Hades speedrun, you want to be able to change what boon is being offered to you, not what door is being offered to you. But, like I said, we do things a little bit different this time, and this is the one way that we can assure that we are going to get this 100% Olympian free. Anything else, and I'd have to get lucky with one of those places that lets me sell off boons. And I'm not expecting to get lucky, and I'm definitely not going to rely on it. And of course, you know, having said all that, I'm now absolutely sure that when that if you accept me into the marathon, that when I do the run, I will have the absolute bad luck that
Not what I need right now.
that I will be changing doors and just get so unlucky that the changes don't let me, that force me into a God Boon eventually and kill my run. You know, and then I'll be able to have the fun of saying, well, that's never happened before, because it hasn't. With all the practice runs I've done, and I've been doing a lot of practice runs just to, you know, figure out what weapons could possibly do this. The answer technically is any weapon can, but the only weapon I've found that is consistent is the one I'm using. The next most consistent weapon has been the bow, but when I say next most consistent, I mean maybe 50% consistency.
Your message.
All right. So this is a little bit of bad luck, but you know. Oh, but the only bad luck we're looking at now isn't have anything to do with boons. It just has to do with the fact that I didn't get 2 Satyr tunnels. Again, if you've ever seen any of Blaze's modded runs, he always gets two hauls because he's playing a mod that specifically forces it. I could get anywhere from 2 to 5. I'm hoping, no luck so far, but I was hoping the traps would do some of the work for me there. And unfortunately, my temporary healing item has worn out, so at this point, I can't be as free with my hit points as I was kind of being before, when I knew that I was just getting a full heal pretty much every time I walked through a door. One of the other things you might notice, and it's showing up a little bit here, is anytime I use the special that puts my... Oh, there we go. That wasn't too bad.
Disgusting.
And the fountain here fully heals you. But anytime I use my special, I do actually get a little bit of a hop.
Are you hungry?
Gotta be very careful here to make sure I'm on the buy 25 health. I can't... If I move too quickly there, I accidentally buy a God Boon and then rip run. Alright. So I'm a little bit behind time right now for no other reason than I got unlucky with 3 Satyr tunnels. That's literally just the way it's going to be. Satyr tunnels are the one part of this run that I have zero control over. They can take me the normal, give or take about 2.5 minutes, or they can take more like 7 or 8. Probably 7. Alright, so with Dad here, alright, I'm going to try as much as possible to be in my zone when I'm fighting him, though this boiling blood is very problematic. And as much as possible, I'm also going to try to get backstabs against him, but that's actually pretty hard. He will not often be standing in a spot where he lets me get the backstab on that 3rd hit. The boiling blood, you'll note I have not used Meg yet. That's because I very much want to try to get the ads in Meg. Normally, for speedrunners, they don't worry about the ads so much, but again, my damage is just considerably lower than the average speedrunner would be at this point. So getting those ads really can matter a lot. Yeah. And I dashed right out of my protective aura. That was a foolish play, but there you go. You saw it. I only took 24 from that spear swing, and that's because I was fully in the protective aura when he hit me. And like I said, I'm going to be very careful if he happens to get me with a boiling blood, because I really can't afford to get hit with boiling blood. An 80 damage hit, even with all the health I have, is just way too dangerous. I'm trading blows with him pretty seriously here, and we'll be doing that for the rest of the fight. Alright, we're halfway through. I haven't even used a single Death Defiance yet. This is one of the best runs I've actually had in a long time. Okay. And this, I love when he does it, because again, he sort of stands still. So I'm not even trading blows. Here I am, definitely. I'm outright trading blows with him and not even thinking twice about it. Reason being, I have 3 Death Defiances left, and he is already down to his last 8,500 health, and I can just trade health with him. If I end up spending a Death Defiance, there it was. It is no big deal. But there you go. Another 1,000 damage hit. I don't care. Yeah, he's getting some big hits on me, but it's really meaningless. There we go. Time. Alright. 3409. That is right about the average I've been getting with this run. I have gotten... My absolute fastest was a high 32. My slowest was around 37. But even with three hallways, I pulled off 34. Now you'll note, under victory, it does not say 100% God free. That's because I also qualified for Minotaur's toughness, and then it just randomizes between them. But I can prove that I got it. Supernova is not a God boon. This is an item. An item. This is not a God boon. This is a Chaos boon. Aspect to Arthur is just my sword. This is a hammer. And Shattered Shackle is the only other thing I have. So that is my proof that this is a 100% God-free run done in 34 minutes, 9 seconds, 0.48. And that's the run. I, at this point, do not have any plans for incentives. Petting the dog is not a sure thing. And it's really sort of Blaze's thing anyway. The only possible incentive I could do is fish at every fishing spot. Though it's hard for me to even notice them. There's a good chance I'll sort of miss them, and I don't want any of the viewers to be unhappy because I miss an incentive that they've paid for. So that is the one incentive that I could possibly do, but I'm not sure. But I'm not sure whether it's a good idea or not. If I did do fishing, and obviously I'd try to catch every fish, that would probably add about, I want to say, about a minute to a minute and a half to the run. As for the time, I have not firmly determined it, but since 34 has been such a consistent number, and my high, like I said, has been around 37, I am planning to put 37 minutes as my estimate, and expecting to come in just a little bit lower than that. And that is the run. Thank you very much. Once again, this has been Firebirdlover. I hope that this entertained you, and I hope that it fits in the marathon if at all possible.